such papers, and because of which their quality in terms of teaching gets down, and focus on research get into more into the effect. So, but what happens over here in terms of this, or how do you make research writing in an easy way? That's the topic of the day. So what I will do is, I've been allotted nearly 2 hours, and hopefully I'll give you certain research tools as well. I will give you in terms of certain hands-on session as well, because there are certain research scholars also have joined, and even they wanted me to give a talk, and at that position I was not in a uh, position to explain them. So this arena will make them also understand how to effectively use the kind of research writing. So going ahead, so as far as this particular slide is concerned, here what people say is like the faculty members in higher institutions are being forced to do research, wherein many after completing their MTech or their master degree program, they join the institution and they do not know how to write a paper at all. What is a paper at all? They would have studied only the newspapers and other local magazines, but they do not know how to write a paper. And but the management, what they say is, see, you need to write some papers, then only you will be given promotion, or then only few management say like, then only you will be given certain salary also, proper salary also, and wherein the faculty members are forced to pay from their own pockets for research writing, which is not at all required. They can write of their own research. See, way back when I did my PhD, I completed my PhD way back in 2012. So when I did, there was no such tools available, and not even the Google was not so effective when way back in 2007 and all. When compared to today, it was not so effective in those days. So when we did research, it was very hectic, and we didn't have this many sources of finding the articles. Whereas now, all articles are readily available. Many people are doing research, and it is we who have to find an innovative way in carrying out our research. So what happens over here is, many people, what they do is, for which when the management forces, these people try to pay the external agencies, the third party agencies. There are many different project centers wherein people will promise like they will write big papers for you people, and they keep it as a package also. Like if you want to publish in SCI Q1 journal, then you need to pay somewhere around 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 1.5 lakhs. And they also trade based on the author position. If you want to be the first author, you need to pay 1.5 lakhs. If you want to be the third author, you can pay 50,000, 80,000. Likewise, people, it has become a, research has become a full-time business. And already many organizations, many management, or there are few management, they don't pay the salaries properly. They pay some 2 months, 2 months and 3 months. They keep a backlog, and they distribute the salary. In spite, they are being forced to carry out the research. So these people forcefully, by scolding the management also, they used to pay from their pockets and publish certain papers, which should not be done. And research writing, if you want to, you should measure quality, and the real academic integrity has to be valued upon. And supposing if you ask the third party, the centers, the project centers for writing papers, they write some rubbish papers, and they write some junk papers, and they get money and they fly away. And nowadays, hopefully, you are aware that many institutions, many faculty members get caught into a kind of retraction, paper retractions. And you know one thing, there is a research index which has been put up by a professor by name Lokman Meho. Hope you would have heard his name. And what he does is, like, he has created a research integrity risk index. What does it do? What does this research integrity risk index do? This research integrity risk index, it is a unique initiative given by this guy, Professor Lokman Meho. He's a librarian who works at the American University of Beirut, and he has introduced this research integrity risk index, wherein he will be finding whomsoever has written publications from a delisted journals. What are the number of publications? How many retractions? How many unreliable publications? You know one thing, when you are silent, people will be very, very happy. When you publish a paper, then instantaneously, even a best of the best friend that you have, what they do is they will try to, then they will start their research, not on their research. They will try to research on how you have published a paper. They will tell, like, this guy was with me, sitting, always having coffee, chit chatting with me, always laughing, smiling, giggling, always watching movies, and we are surprised how this fellow published a paper. So then they will do a research. So this is what the human psychology is, the human mentality is. So because of this, what happens is that, like our friends, there is a team that is working. You know, there's a team called as ancient team. You know one thing, if a guy is going to, or if they are going to identify a article which has been, and if they are able to find out that this article has been copied from someone else, and it has been, and then if they are able to publicly prove that this article has been retracted, then you know one thing, the ancient team, which is in US and in UK, even you can also register for free. They will give 50,000 US dollars, and for finding out whether a paper is genuine or not. So nowadays, this again has become a business to find out the flaws in a particular paper. So this is what this guy Lokman Meho has also told about this research integrity risk index, and about the number of publications in delisted journals, retraction rates, and the potentially unreliable publications. You know one thing, to the shock and surprise, India leads the riskiest ranks. Indian universities top about this kind of retractions. Not only Indian universities, even Saudi Arabia universities listed in Saudi Arabia also dominate the riskiest ranks. And when you take up this Iranian universities, they are multifaceted. Few Iranian universities top, few Iranian universities are so genuine. Like, to name a few, Islamic Azad University, as of 2025, May 2025, they have 580 plus papers in the delisted journals. And medical universities are no less. Because what they do is they take the results that has been taken up by other professors who have done the surgery, and they will carry out they will place it in their particular journal. So this comes up as a retraction rate. And in the Iranian universities like Sharif University of Technology and America Bear University are said to have no retractions at all. Even in Indian universities, there are few. I do not want to list the Indian universities over here. If you want, I can ping it personally. So that is about the research integrity. Research integrity, risk index is all about now. And people say about retraction. This session, whatever I'm handling today, is for freshers who are unaware of writing an article, who are not sure of how to proceed further, who are not sure about what plagiarism is. See, for plagiarism, what happens over here is people try to copy always nowadays. Our life has become simple after the upcoming of this generative AI tools. In the earlier days, way back in 2006, 7 or in 2010 and all, if you want to check the internet connectivity, many have a habit. They just type and see, they just type it as google.com. And if Google page appears, then they say that net is available. Or else they say that net is not available. And after 2022, that is from start of 2023, way back in October 2022 onwards, ChatGPT is there. Start from 2023, many of the South Indians, for anything and everything, they have started using ChatGPT. They ask all sort of questions from ChatGPT. They wanted every answer from ChatGPT. So, and when the management asks people to write a paper, they just give the title, they get the good results from ChatGPT, they just copy, paste it, publish it, and then caught in retraction. Then caught in plagiarism. Now, what is plagiarism? Do you think that there is only one type of plagiarism available? Definitely not. There are 8 different types of plagiarism. I'm not sure how many of us are aware of these many plagiarism. First plagiarism is called as global plagiarism, wherein few people, because of their family pressure, they are not in a position to write the paper at all. Someone would have written the paper. They just change the name and the affiliation. Like title and all will be same. Only they will change the affiliation from John, say for example, from John Jackson Kennedy, Salman Khan to their name, to their so some to their name, and they give the affiliation and they show it to the management, because there are very few management, they don't even use a backtracking method to search whether this article has been genuinely published or not. Sir, you gave me the concept. I went to ChatGPT. I went to this kind of usage of Gen AI tool like Grammarly. I just typed in Grammarly and I paraphrase it. I just used some other Gen AI tools, I paraphrase it. And now it is my work. How will it be your work? Even there, the Turnitin, AI Turnitin will identify the paraphrasing plagiarism. That is called as paraphrasing plagiarism. Next is self plagiarism. Self plagiarism is, sir, it's my own work, sir. I have written it, sir. I wrote and I published it last year, and I am writing one other paper, and I wanted to publish it. So I have copied my statements from the already published article of mine, wherein I was the only author. You cannot do that. Maybe it might be your writing, but that got published, and now your paper is with the publisher. Only he has the rights. You do not have the right to copy your own work and you put it in your own new paper. Such kind of plagiarism is called as self-plagiarism. Then next is about the source-based plagiarism. In the case of source-based plagiarism, there might not be any kind of data set at all. These people try to manipulate the data set, fabricate the data set. Why? So that they get a result which they desire. Wherein they try to manipulate the data set is the source, right? So they try to manipulate the source itself. But during citation, they cite that particular data set. And when checked, that data set is different from the data set that has been used here. Which means these people are manipulated for their own benefit. Such kind of plagiarism is called as source-based plagiarism. Next is the direct plagiarism, or it is also called as a verbatim plagiarism, wherein you copy word by word, and if it is of if someone has said something, you should give it in quotes, and you should cite it. If you don't do it, then again, it is a plagiarism. Which means, in our institution, we have a deep learning server. And if you're going to use the server, we are supposed to acknowledge our institution that this has been, the institution has given us a facility to execute my research. If someone else has said some statement, you are supposed to acknowledge. If some, if you are going to take a diagram, a photograph, an image from one other paper, you are supposed to accept that this particular diagram image is being cited from that particular paper. If you're not doing it, it is called as direct plagiarism, or it's also called as verbatim plagiarism. Next is the patchwork plagiarism. Patchwork plagiarism is, sir, you have shared me as a supervisor, you shared me 3 articles, 4 articles. Now you ask me to write a frame paper. So I took the first 2 sentences from the second paragraph of the first paper, third and fourth sentence from the second paper, first paragraph of the second paper, 5 and 6 sentence from the first paragraph of the third paper. And this has become my own paper. No, it is not your own paper. You have copied, you have assembled the sentences from different articles, and you claim that it is said to be your own. It is called as patchwork plagiarism or a mosaic plagiarism. Next is accidental plagiarism. It is very common. Wherein people, what they do is they try to cite it. They read one article, they paraphrase it, they replicate it in their own words, and they don't even cite that parent article. And if found by the original parent guy, author, he can sue you in the court of law for not citing. That is called as accidental plagiarism. So that should also be cited. Next is pollution plagiarism. Pollution plagiarism is, say for example, in our institution again, we give all kind of digital assignments. Even in any of the institution, they give a kind of all kind of assignments before they go with the kind of final examination. And if an assignment has been given, it is not written, but it is required that each and every individual has to write their assignment of their own. They are not supposed to copy. Even both classmates would sit together and write, but they are not supposed to do a pakka copy work. Concept may be same, but they should write in their own words. That is called as pollution plagiarism. So these are some of the 8 different types of plagiarism that is available. So for your information. Now, sir, you said about article writing, research article writing. You said about Gen AI tools, but now we are into plagiarism. How do I write a paper? How many of you in this group watch movies? Almost all of us. Almost all of us watch movies. How many of you go for new movies? You just like that walk in. Okay, if you are a pakka fan of a particular hero or heroine, then to visit her or to see her or to see him, you just go to the theaters on first day, first show. Without first day, first show, we do not have any kind of reviews. So we walk out, we walk into the theater. Few guys, what they do is they make reservations and they check the reviews how this movie is. What do these people say? Many will say, we are disappointed. He is a very famous actor. He is a very famous hero. She is a very famous heroine. We thought like this movie will blast like anything. And these people told like it is a part two of some other movie. And this movie is a total waste and I don't like this movie. Some review comments come like that. Then what do? Then you change your mind and you go for whether you decide whether to go for that movie or not. Don't you do that? Or if a movie has been given, there are it all depends on person to person. Many people like action movie. Many people like fiction movies. Few people like comedy movies. Few people like romantic movies. So it all depends from person to person. Now, if it is of a story based comic movie, but which has a good storyline in it, then if you are asked to analyze a movie, what do? Don't you analyze a movie of how it works? If you are able to analyze a movie, you can write a paper extremely well. Let's see how it has been done. Okay. Before we could go to that analyzing of movie, that example, we will see, we have seen about types of plagiarism. We will see what are the ways to avoid plagiarism. So please do not copy and paste. Please do not please understand what is to be referenced. For example, if a water boils at 100 degrees, citation is not required. But if you are going to take some wording, some sentences which has been quoted by that particular person, in the paper you are supposed to say, this has been said by that particular person. Even when you could take a movie called Sachin, which is acted by Vijay. He used to say for each and every dialogue, this has been everything he will say, and he will say, this is what Ayachami has told. Why does he say that? This is how he reference that particular person. Why do I say with a movie? Because many people like movies, watching movies. So even our example will relate with the movies of so that we can easily write papers. And you need to keep track of the sources, which means when you write down, initially what people do is they read 4 or 5 articles. They think like, okay, we will quote everything, but they will forget. So whenever you write, that is what I ask my research scholars also to do. Whenever they study a paper, write in a notebook. Although we are in a digital way, write in a notebook. Make the citation then and there so that when you type your work, you can cite it accordingly. So keep track of your sources. Use quotation marks. Supposing if anyone is going to quote, then use quotes accordingly. Then please do not write, reuse your own work. That becomes self-plagiarism. And always before submitting a paper, always submit to a plague checker and then submit it. For example, not only Turnitin, here I have given Turnitin, but not only Turnitin, use AI Turnitin. That will check AI reports as well. Turnitin report is different from an AI report. Use Grammarly, use Authenticate, use Originality AI. There are several AI tools again. And my suggestion is before publishing any article, keep my point, keep my word. keep my sentence. Before publishing any article, it is not recommended to upload your contents to an AI and to check for any kind of flag report. Why? Because we do not know where your article gets stored and how long will it take for you to submit to a journal. Before that, there is a possibility that someone else might also upload it in some other journal. There is a possibility. So, at caution, sir, if you want to take risk, you are at liberty. Usage of Gen AI tools itself is at caution. Always work strenuously, work with your mindset. Please do not do a, please do not even use much of Gen AI tools before publishing, right? So it is always better to check using Turnitin or using AI Turnitin, which is not, uh, which is a tool for plagiarism checker. Now, is it required for anyone to go for this kind of Gen AI tools? Is it required for to use AI tools for your research? Definitely not. See, when you take up the safety pin example, safety pin was invented in 1849 and today is 2025. Even till date, the shape, size, the functionality of a safety pin has not changed. It is same. So it is not necessary to use the AI tools, but as a researcher, as a faculty member of an institution, due to pressure from the top management to publish more and more papers, we are forced to use AI tools. For which, now, since we are in 2025, I don't say that you are not supposed to use AI tools. Survival of the fittest, learn more and more AI tools, use it and use it effectively, use it qualitatively. Do not fool yourself, then do not try to fool others, then we will be fooled. So, so for which we are using AI tools. Now, what are the cons of negative impacts of using AI tools? If you don't use AI tools, you will, if you want to write a paper in the olden days, we had a kind of critical thinking. We will develop the kind of critical thinking. Nowadays, because of this kind of AI tools, critical thinking has gone down. The quality outputs have gone down because anything and everything we get it through those AI tools. The integrity concerns are becoming a concern. Integrity. Then there is a kind of, see, now also I told, few minutes back also I told, before publishing any article, please do not upload it in any of the Gen AI tools. And I told it is a caution. If you want, you can do, but it is at your own risk. Why risk? Again, you doubt everyone, anyone. That is a basic human mentality, because you think like it happens to kind of data privacy risk. Then, so do you mean to say that I should not use AI tools for my research? No, use AI tools, but it should be of quality oriented, not of quantity oriented. Do not manipulate the source data. And with AI tools, you can give high quality output, but it should not be easily obtainable. With AI tools, you can become more productive, but it will make you a lazy guy. So think over and use this kind of Gen AI tools. Now, getting back to our very own old example of comparing a research paper or analyzing a movie. First, let us analyze a movie, then let us compare it to a research paper. I will tell you one thing after seeing the next slide. When you are, if you are able to analyze a movie, then for sure you are the apt person to write a research paper. See, this is how you analyze a movie. Just take the right hand side. You take a movie name. I don't want to quote any movie. Few people like the movie. Few people they don't like the movie. Even if you could take a Tamil movie called Thug Life, few like because of the hero, heroine, because of the director. Few give a negative comment as well. So, what is the name of the movie? It is a unique name. Nowadays, people copy even the names, but that is possible in movies, not in papers. Many people, many of the Shivakarthikeyan movies have been, the names, the titles have been copied, Maviran or whatsoever, Velakaran or whatsoever. It's been copied, but in papers you are not supposed to do it. So always it should be unique and the title should capture the essence of the movie, which means the title of the paper, you should have a unique title so that you are able to, your title should speak what your paper is all about. Then, before launching a movie, you would have seen some trailers. Nowadays, you see all kind of teasers as well. Movie teaser is different. Movie trailers. Why do they give trailers? They highlight all kinds of main events. Why? Then only audience will book the tickets. That's what your abstract is. Your entire paper, what you're going to do in your paper, you are going to give the gist of what is there in the entire paper, full paper, which means you are giving a summary of the research paper. And that one paragraph should be written very well so that people should like to read, love to read the rest of the contents of the paper. That's what the movie trailer also do. They show all romantic scenes. They show all fight scenes. They give one comedy scene and they make it as a trailer. And they give a car chase, bike chase, and they give it as a trailer, which means they are highlighting the main events to attract audience. Similarly, a concise summary should attract the reader to read, to go, uh, to make a further reading of the rest of the paper. Then, have you seen in any of the movie, in the first scene itself, people started to fight? Definitely not. Usually, in way back in old movies, released in 1990s and early 2000, they start with the Swami scene, a Lord scene. They used to show some kind of Dibaras and other things, and they start the opening scene amicably, which means so that they introduce the other actors, and then they introduce the hero separately. Hero will not be shown immediately at the first scene. So, like, this is how that sets the tone. There are movies where the hero has been highlighted in the first scene. There are exceptions, but usually the scene is they set the tone to introduce the setting and the key characters. Similarly, when it comes to research, introduce the problem statement in a subtle manner. Subtle manner is slowly you are going to build, and you need to give the motivation. What made you to write this paper? That is where the introduction is. Usually, when you see the movies, they always relate to the previous movie. A Villa film. This Villa film, Ajit film. That Villa film was Rajini film. That was very good. No, no, no. This film was very good. Villa 2, that Villa 1 itself was very good when compared to Villa 2. Why do you relate to a previous movie? What sort of comparison that we make? Oh, this Velakaran film, which has been acted by this guy Shivakarthikeyan, that Velakaran film acted by Rajnikant, that was so good when compared to this film. No, no, no. This film has a good masala when compared to that film. That is what the related work is all about. You discuss the previous research with respect to the title and with respect to the study. With respect to your literatures. Now we will see what literature is in the forthcoming slides. Then research methodology, which has been related to the movie production. How was the movie made? When you could take all kind of mostly this Kamal Haasan movie or this director Shankar movie and all. Since I suppose most of the audience are from South, I'm relating it to all South Indian films. What happens in most of the Kamal Haasan film, like we could take a film called Dasavadaram, he would have used good technology, which people and many of the Kamal Haasan films, people will not be in a position to understand when they watch it for the first time, because he would have used such a kind of hi-fi technology. Even when you could take up this Endiran movie, directed by Shankar, he would have used very good technology. So for post production, for producing a movie, that's what you do in a research methodology. The methodology is the method how you are working, carrying out to carry out your research. What is the method that you have used to carry out your research? When it comes to events, what is the plot? People might say nowadays, many wanted comedy also, many wanted romantic also, many wanted a plot in the movie. There's no story at all. Only you can laugh for 3 hours. You could watch a movie called Kanna Laddu Asya. You can watch for 3 hours, just laugh and go. Okay. But people also need some kind of story plots, which means that is about the plot of the main events. That's where the result is. What is your finding? How you have, what have you found in your work research that you have to write in your paper? That becomes a research. And always there will be a critic. Few guys will say it's an excellent movie. Few guys will say it's a waste movie. Few guys will say this can be done better. This climax is not good. The second half is not good. First half is not good. Last climax they have mishandled. They have mixed and matched. So likewise, such kind of analysis. That's where the discussion comes into picture, play in a research paper. And few movies end up short. For example, when you could go to this when you could go to this climax of a movie, when you could take a movie called Mudalvan. I don't watch many movies, but even then, but all good movies I watch. So when you could take up this Mudalvan, we do not know the movie ends, the climax. Immediately, this guy Arjun will shoot this guy Raghuvaran, and the movie ends flat. So the conclusion, because because after the movie ends, people should be have a happy mind when they leave the theaters. Like, oh, this is what I enjoyed 3 hours, and this is what I learned from this movie. So this guy has acted like this guy has acted like this. So what an acting, what a mass hero is. So that wrapping up is very, very essential, very much required. That's what the conclusion is. Conclusion summarizes the key findings and suggests the future research. Since we are into this Gen AI tools, I will give you how to write a conclusion alone, not the entire paper. Now, when it comes to research paper, so now, hope with this movie, hope you are not dreaming about the movie. Now our focus is on writing a research paper. So we have a research paper title: abstract, introduction, related works, research methodology, results and discussion, conclusion, future study. Not but not the least. Not but not the least. Use references, citations. The more and more you cite, the more and more it is better. And whatever references that you use, it should be cited. Whatever references that you use, it should be cited. So what happens over here is, so you need to cite all the references that you are using it. So here, so citation is very much required for a research paper. Now, what are the papers that are available? Many people say Write a research paper, write a research paper. What is a paper? What is an article? Is there only research paper available? Definitely not. The papers are classified as research paper, review paper, case study paper, and positional papers. What is a research paper? Wherein you have the original research findings. Wherein the scope is focused. It has been narrowed down on a specific research question. Wherein you have better benefits of contributing to new knowledge to the field. Wherein you have the challenges, the methodologies or empirical methods, experimental results, surveys, questionnaires, so on and so forth. How to use, when to use. You identify the new findings and you give certain examples as well. That's where few people will say, sir, I compared two algorithms, sir. I prepared my own pseudocode, sir. I uploaded, I wrote a paper and I submitted it, but my paper got rejected. But for this fellow, for an international researcher, he also done a similar kind of task with a different set of algorithms or pseudocode. For him, it got accepted, but not for me. What is the mistake that I have done? Where should I improve? Why is my paper getting rejected? Always, even for my research scholars, I used to tell the same wording. Always use a case. You take all your research, take all your findings, do all your pseudocode, do all your study, and implement it to a case, that is implemented to an example. Do with the case study. Always do with an application. Do not just compare your pseudocodes alone and do not submit. You will not get a positive result. When you use the pseudocode to your paper, to the application, for example, to a healthcare application, to an agriculture application, to a to a medical something like heart failure, heart analysis application, or for a pancreatic cancer application, or for a kind of, use it to any kind of application, then there is high end probability that your paper gets selected. That's a research paper. What is the review paper? See, this guy has done like this guy has done like this, and this is the analysis that I have made from paper 1. This is the analysis that I have made from paper 2, and I am doing it. That's a review paper. That's what you have done in the previous work also. Here in the movie name, movie trailer, or the opening scene, when you are able to compare it in the related works, you are able to compare it with the previous movies. In that movie, this guy, many have told, like Thug Life movie, it's a second part of part 2 of this guy movie called Nayagan. Is it so? And when you compared it, you were able to say, like, see, Nayagan was pretty much far better when compared to this movie Thug Life. That is a perception of one particular person. So this is where your comparison, this is where you are trying to make a review of this movie. Usually Kamal Hassan, he acts very good movies. When you could take movies like Pamal Ke Samandham, when you could take movies like Avoy Shanmughi, when you could take movies like Michael Madana Kamarajan, it has a different genre. When you could take movies like Dasavadar, when you could take movies like Panchadandram, it has a different genre. And why is this guy acting like this? When you take Indian movie, it is a super duper hit. When you take Indian 2, maybe it's a super duper flop, or there are people who even like the movie. So there you are comparing, analyzing. There in that movie, he has told like this. This movie has told like this. Now analyze the hero's capability, capacity, and summarize it. That becomes a review paper over there. That's what you have done in the related movies. And what is the technology that has been used is different. how Kamala Hassan has put all his facial expressions, change his facial expressions in a movie called as Avation Biggie is different. What is the technique that is used? What is the tool that is used? What is the technology that is used is different. That's where the research methodology comes into picture. And when you could take with respect to a particular case, just with an example of the same old Kamal Hassan movie of Avation Biggie, wherein he has changed his face as a lady face. So that one you are taking that as a case study. How has he done it? What has he done over there in that movie Avation Biggie? How is he using the facial or the powder or whatsoever material that has been used to change his face? How is he dressing? As a male, how he has dressed. As a female, how he has dressed. And he would have worn a 9 yard sari. So for which how he has dressed, how is he doing it? So there you are analyzing with a particular case. That's what the case study is. When you could take up a positional papers, what is a positional paper? So if I could watch a movie, what sort of benefits I could get? There was a movie called as Irumbutharai, which was enacted by this guy Arjun and this Vishal. What happens over there is, from that movie, what are things that you learned? You were able to learn about the cyber fraudulent activities, cyber attacks, and how to protect yourself from the attacks. That's what the positional papers are. Okay, why do I compare it with movies? Because many of us like to watch movies, many of us like to analyze a movie, many of us like to do good work with movies. So now, why don't you, with the same thump and gesture, or why don't you write a research paper? If at all you write a research paper, classify a research paper according to these topics, make it either as a research paper or as a review paper or as a case study paper or as a personal paper. Now, I suppose by now you would have had a good hold of how to write a paper and how to classify a paper. Take this slide itself as an example. When you could relate it with the movie, definitely you will be in a position to write a very good paper. Now, we saw about different types of academic papers. People say about methodology. What did we say in this methodology? Here in this methodology in the slide, it is used to conduct the research method. That is the techniques, the tools. When you could take up a movie called Dasavadaram, how 2-3 Kamal Hassan has been shown in the single screen. There was one other movie, recent movie called Goat, which has been acted by this guy Vijay. 2 Vijay will be shown on the same screen. And how this guy, and even a movie called Leo, wherein there will be a chasing scene, wherein this guy Vijay will be chasing his father, and there will be a car chase scene. You know one thing? It was not real at all. They used a Gen AI tool. What is the tool? There was a tool called as Sora AI. Even if you can browse it, even you can work with such kind of tools. Even in one of the conferences wherein I presented a lecture in Sri Lanka, when I went to Sri Lanka. So there I gave a hands-on session with respect to 2 tools called as, similar to the Sora tool, which is called as Wiggle AI, and another tool called as Akul AI. So these are the tools wherein you can change any content to any content. So that comes to the research methodology. That tool, with that tool, what am I able to identify? What sort of results I'm able to get into? That is about research methodology. There in movies, it's about the movie production. Many people would have completed the production part. When it comes to post-production, the movie gets delayed because of post-production. As an example, there are several Vikram movies like Dhruva Natchatram and all got delayed because for several years because of post-production. Okay. Now, getting into the kind of research methods, these are the research methods available. In a broad category, research method is divided into two groups. One is called as a qualitative method, other one is said to be a quantitative method. In a quantitative method, you do all kind of experimental results. Experimental research. You take many surveys, questionnaire, and analyze those questionnaire and surveys. You do a kind of longitudinal studies. What is a longitudinal study? You try to detect over a period of time. Now it works like this. After 3 hours, it works like this. Where it's also you would have studied the database called as temporal database. This you would have used for kind of stock marketing and all. So for longitudinal study, now the building is like this. After 10 years, the building has become old. After 25 years, the building has become even old. After 100 years, the building has become even old. It is not as it was in year one. That becomes a longitudinal study. Cross-sectional study, correlation research, causal comparison. Causal is comparing two groups to identify cause and effects. You would have studied something called as fishbone diagrams, cause and effect diagrams, meta-analysis, quasi-experiments. These are all methods that has been related and it's called as a quantitative methods. As far as the qualitative methods are concerned, if you're going to do research with respect to language, because very recently, I had one other talk on this kind of how to work with or how to go hand in hand with the Gen Z kids for our MGR University only. So wherein people from literature, language department, social science department, people from departments like English, Tamil, German, French, faculty members were asking for us and all, how do we do our research? So they can go with the kind of qualitative methods. For German, if you belong to a German department, then what is there in German? How research is happening with respect to that particular area? How, when you could take it to India, how you can interpret, how you can work on, how you can compare the historical research, what sort of analysis, what sort of content analysis, like how, see in German, usually during Sundays it will be a silent Sunday. Here, if you want to make it as a silent Sunday in India, it is not so easy. But you can make a silent Sunday in your home. There it has been made for the country. There, here you are going to make it for the home. So that's where you are analyzing the content. How it is over there. There cleanliness is too much. Here cleanliness, if you want, nowadays it's improving. So how do you analyze the content with respect to specific country? So these things come under a kind of qualitative analysis. How to work with the grounded theory. How do you make an action research? Action research is working with some other companies along with, like you work in par with the other researcher and then work in a company, get a real-time data and work on it. Action research. Observational research. Observational research is seeing and doing. Oh, this guy has developed a supermarket application. How has he done it? What has he done it? Okay, why don't I do it? When he can do it, why don't I do it? Working it out. Observe and then work out a research. So these things come under qualitative methods. These are different types of research methods. Now, what are things we saw? We saw about flag. We saw about different types of flag. We saw about why to use research, why not to use AI tools, why to use AI, why not to use AI. We saw about the flag tools, different types of flag tools, about the research, different types of research method, compared with respect to research paper writing with respect to a movie. What are different types of papers? We saw different types of methods, qualitative, quantitative. What are the sublines, subheadings for a quantitative method? What are the subheadings for qualitative method? We have seen. Now, this is what a question that came in my last session, which happened with MGR. Sir, I developed some charts. What chart, which chart I should use for what purpose? This slide shows so. When you're going to work with the sales, like one of my students, there is a shop called as Jay Shri Krishna. It's a textile showroom which is there in somewhere in 9 different places in Chennai itself. So he was my student. So he wanted to compare the sales for which chart he could use. The best chart that he could use is the bar chart, or it is called as column graph. It's not a bar graph, it's a column graph. Nowadays, in the recent times, people call it as bar chart, but actually speaking, it's a column graph. Why it's called as a column graph? What is the difference between bar graph and a column graph? Column graph is, see, in your houses and all, when you build houses, they raise columns, right? Columns are raised vertically from the ground. Hence, it is called as column graph. Bar is when you could go to a gym, when you could go to local parks, people will hang on to rods. Rods will be on a horizontal basis. Such graphs are called as bar graphs, and these graphs are called as column graphs. But as days goes on, these people have changed it as bar chart. But actually speaking, it is a column chart. This is very good when you could compare sales of different products. When can we use this kind of line graphs, line charts? When I want to have a kind of breakdown. This year I published these many papers. Next year, how am I going to do it? This sprint, I was able to deliver these many releases. Next year or next month, I will be releasing these many. So it will be upward trend. Or this month with the money, I have purchased a new home. Next month, I have purchased a refrigerator. Next month, I have purchased washing machine. Next month, I didn't have a job. So my income has gone down. So for that and all, I can use line chart. When do you use a pie chart? When, if I'm going to have 100 rupees, and how have I spent 100 rupees? 40 rupees I spent for having my breakfast. 20 rupees I spent for having a tea. Another 15 rupees I spent for having a coffee. Sorry, having samosa or veg puffs. So 35, another 15 rupees again I spent for purchasing notebooks. 10 rupees I spent for purchasing note. 5 rupees I spent for purchasing a pen. Now I have utilized the entire 100 rupees. So what do you have? You had a total 100 rupees. You have utilized 100 rupees in a different manner. For which, if you could show that in a pie chart, it will be all the better. For the whole result, how am I spending? That's where the pie chart is all about. As far as scattered plot is concerned, how you are going to identify the spending behavior. When I earn 40,000 rupees per month, how am I spending? Where and all I'm spending? Am I spending a lot of money in iBacco, eating ice creams? Am I spending a lot of money in watching movies alone? Am I spending a lot of money in drinking tea and coffee in a day? So how do you do it? So that, or what sort of revenue I am able to generate from a span of 6 months or a span of 1 year? That becomes a kind of scatter plot. Okay, when do we go for histograms? When we work with the survey respondents exclusively, like this survey was responded by a guy who is in the age group between 18 to 25. This survey was responded by a guy, the same survey was responded by a guy who is in the age group of 25 to 40, in the age group of 40 to 60, in the age group of 60 to 75, in the age group of greater than 75. How many people in the age group of 18 to 25 has responded? How many people in the age group of 25 to 40 has responded? 40 to 60 has responded, 60 to 75 has responded, 75 to 100 has responded. For which histogram will be the best graph. When it comes to map, how do I identify whether see, whomsoever enters the mall, they are not said to be the shoppers or buyers. Whenever I enter a mall, that's my own perception. Whenever I enter a mall, usually I don't shop in malls. I always do only window shopping. I only go watch, enjoy the AC, enjoy the escalator facility, enjoy the lift facility. I just do the window shopping and then I come out of the mall. That's my own habit. Others, although if a saree is or if a material is been available in a shopping place of for 100 rupees, in the mall if he's going to say 600 rupees, and if they're going to go with their boyfriend or their girlfriend, they try to spend there in the mall. So not all visitors become shoppers, not all shoppers become buyers, not all buyers become repeated buyers. So to identify all these things, you can use the map chart, and all these things are available even in the Power Query or in other. Okay, now, so these are different types of charts. Why I said this is there was a query how to what sort of charts to be used for what type of research. And again, when it comes to analytical tools, this was also another query. Sir, we belong to finance department, we belong to accounts, commerce. So what sort of tools should be used? SPSS, Stata, SAS, JMP, Excel, and regression and all. What sort of tools should I use? And when it comes to data visualization, how about using Power BI, Tableau data given? There is one other tool called as Power Query, which I have not listed here. And when you use all these tools, you're supposed to use the GenA tool also. Power BI come up with a GenA tool called as Copilot. Tableau comes up with a GenA tool called as Einstein. Power Query comes up with a GenA tool, internal GenA tool called as Excel Analytics. Similarly, each and every tool comes up with its own GenA tools. Now, what are the 10 qualitative research tools? GenA tools. NVO, I do not know how many of you have heard of or used these tools. If your research is of qualitative, then use this. You can find out working on these many tools. And again, these are only, as I said in the start of the session, I'm just giving you a tip of an iceberg. I'm not giving you all the GenA tools that are available. Only a tip of an iceberg. There are several other tools available. We will see in the due course when we are listing out certain other tools. I'm just giving you a tip of an iceberg. And many people work with ChatGPT. Always they go for ChatGPT. Is ChatGPT the only LLM? No. You have Claude, you have Gemini, you have Grok. Grok is from the Elon Musk. You have this Perplexity. Even in one of the sessions, I used to say like, please do not search your contents using google.com. Always try to search with Perplexity. Do not search with google.com. Gone are the days when we search with google.com. Nowadays, search with Perplexity. Okay. What and all, where and all, we can use this kind of tools. ChatGPT for everyday answers. ChatGPT is said to be the best tool. For writing any kind of content, Claude is said to be best. For coding, Claude again is said to be best. For reasoning, see, even my research scholar, they used to say, sir, I asked, this is the error that I have made. How do I correct it? Where have I made the mistake? How do I correct my mistakes? What is the tool that I could use? As ChatGPT is very good. It's the best tool. Wherever I given star, it's to be the best. Which it does not mean that other tools are waste. Out of all of the tools, ChatGPT is best. For doing a deep research, sir, I was able to compare 5 different algorithms, optimization algorithms. Now, I am able to come up with a new algorithm for after analyzing, for which, for doing deep research, ChatGPT is best. Sir, I just wanted to find out what are the websites that are available to give me some talks, to give me to make me know about these kind of Gen AI tools, for which Perplexity is the very best tool. If you want to do voice chat, ChatGPT again. Image generation, which is not been image generation is not being supported by Claude, for which ChatGPT is best. So what are the, do you have any specific tools? Yes, blackbox.ai is a very good tool. Sir, for coding, do you have any specific tools? Yes, ZZCode.ai is a very best tool. Any other tool? If I have a code in Java, sir, but I want to convert it to uh, convert my code to Python. I do not know Python, or I don't have time to convert to Python. Yes, code converter.ai is a very good tool. But these are the basic LLMs, most popular AI tools. Only I'm telling this. For video generation, Gemini is very good. Gemini is from Google. Live camera, Gemini is again good. For basic computer usage, for about to know about the RAM, ROM, so on and so forth, ChatGPT is good. These are some of the popular AI tools. And sir, I am using AI tool from 2022 October onwards. But now I am in 2025. Should I use the same old tool? No. See, the session that I gave last week is different from the session that I give today. The session that I am giving today will be different from the session that I am going to give next week, Tuesday. I am going to give a session to Delhi University. The session that I am going to give on 24th of this month to St. Joseph Engineering College. Yes. Again on research. That will be a different session when compared to the session that I'm going to give today. Which means why I'm saying this? Why I'm saying this? The tools that you used yesterday would have become paid by now, would have become obsolete by now. So you need to update yourself, upgrade yourself. I have used the same tool in 2022. Will I be using the same tool now? Then you are an obsolete guy. You have to update yourself. Sir, if I want to read a foreign language, what is the tool that I could use? If I want to get understand a foreign language, what is the tool that I could use? Gone are the days when you use Google Translate. You have tools like Whisper AI. You have tools like Yandex AI. You have tools like Vivo. There are so many tools. So you need to update yourself day by day if you want to work with this kind of Gen AI tools. These are some of the Gen AI tools which people should know in 2025 till date. But these tools may not be available for next month or so. See, like, sir, Julius AI. Yeah, I have heard of this Julius AI. But I do use a tool called Jenny AI. Yes, I do agree. Jenny AI is a very good tool which I have not listed here. Jenny AI is a very good tool for analyzing the data, whatever has been done by this Julius, but I have not listed here. I have listed. Yes, I have listed. But there are other tools as well. Julius is even more better. How do I analyze? How do I compare? That's what I told. It all again depends on individual perception. Few people might be comfortable with one tool. See, even I told few minutes back, I told like use for searching, use perplexity.ai rather than using Google. But anyone and everyone are comfortable with working with google.com, google.co.in if you are in India. Then it is all up to the individual. We cannot compel anyone. I say like perplexity is even more better. I say like uh, the whatsoever searches. Like I say, like Brave browser is very good when compared to usage of Chrome browser. But many even till date download only Google Chrome. But I say like use a Brave browser. Why? What is the difference? When you use Brave browser, when you watch YouTube videos, many of the advertisements get caught in the browser itself. So advertisements will not be coming and you get a good uninterrupted videos. So use such browsers. When you use search engines, I ask people to, when even last some 3 weeks back when I handled session in this RMK group college, for them I asked them to use, I gave a talk on cyber security. For them I asked them to use this DuckDuckGo search engine. That is even more better when compared to using Google. DuckDuckGo will give you precise information, not for all questions. Google will not give you answers, but DuckDuckGo will give answers related to cyber security. So, for say one day I was asking when I gave a talk with those one Hyderabad University. So there, for searching with Wi-Fi cameras, you can use Shodan engine, which is better when compared to Google. So again, it all depends upon the individuals. So these are some of the tools that are available. So it is up to the researcher to use these tools. Now, sir, now you told about abstract, you told about all these type of research, paper writing, research gaps. Now I want to analyze the data. I have the data. How do I analyze it? You can analyze with any of the tools. You can analyze with answers. You can analyze with Trinka. You can analyze with any tool. I will give you one tool called as, I'm not sure how many of you would have used the tool. It is called as myraresearch.com. Many of you would have not even heard of this tool. This Myra Research, it analyzes data and it emails you the results. It will not show the result on its tool, but it emails you. Why? These fellows at the back end, they try to collect your email ID and they will try to send all kind of junk subscription mails for which they collect. See, I will tell you one thing. No Gen AI tool is free. All Gen AI tools are only paid. Like all Gen AI tools are, they wanted to have business. Only for that they have this kind of Gen AI tools. So again, this we will see how it works. Okay, what kind of data could be analyzed? The interview questions, questionnaires, observation, textual responses, notes, which means all kind of qualitative work. You can analyze with this kind of myraresearch.com. Just as a break. Am I audible? So far I'm talking, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Hope I'm not making you sleep. We will see some hands-on from these tools of this Myra Research. This is how Myra Research, if you type in myraresearch.com, you can upload your transcript just by, you can identify the file and you can keep the tester level. How do you want to analyze your work? Now, let's go forward. Now I'm choosing, sorry. Now I'm choosing the file. So I'm choosing the file. I have chosen the file, 2 files. I've made all it as a video. Now I'm uploading. I'm just giving continue. I'm just giving. There are two types of analysis. Inductive analysis, research. I wanted results for inductive analysis. Free version actually goes with this kind of. Again, there are two versions. One is free, other one is paid version. So I go with the free version. So when I could go with the free version and I'm analyzing, I give a mail ID, it sends to the mail. Now, when I open the mail, this was taken up last month, 12/5/2025. So, see, See the results I have obtained from the content from the data set that I have uploaded. Just I uploaded 100 data elements for which see the results. This results I can get it free of cost. But again, as I told, at caution. See, these people, they try to get your email ID because they wanted to grow their business. So it is up to you to use such tools. So this is one of the tool for data analysis. Is this the only tool? No, definitely not. Julius is a very good tool. See, Jenny AI was a very good tool. When I gave a talk in one other university way back in March 2025, at the time Jenny AI was the best tool, one of the best tools. But now Julius is a very good tool for rapid data analysis. How do I work with this? You open this Julius AI tool, Julius AI, Julius.ai, and then attach your file, upload the data file. See, again, all analysis depends on the prompt that you give. How well you type in your question, how well you frame your question, that's where the prompt engineer is. So it all depends on the prompt that you give for data analysis. So in this case, for I upload a file, a data file, and I give a prompt as draw all types of graphs and charts relevant to this particular data. Then Julius AI will check the data, it ensures the data, and it will analyze. First, it will pre-process. It will check all the fields, all the attributes. If you are a computer science guy, you might be knowing attributes are nothing but the columns. It will check all the columns. It will check all the tuples, all the rows. Tuples are rows. Then it will start analyzing data. Then it will give you the results. See, with Julius AI, with the data I am going to feed, it will give the graphs, charts, it will clean the data, it will run statistical tests, explore all kind of relationships, extract the data from PDFs, perform, it can perform multivariable analysis, which was not possible in even Myra research. This can perform multivariable analysis. You will see how it works. So this is how the Julius AI screen looks like. Again, all AI is only, nothing is free, no free lunch, no free lunch, which means no tool is fully free. If they're going to give it fully free, they cannot do business. But you can try Julius for free. That is few functionalities are free. So let me click this Julius free version. Now I try to analyze. I'm logging in. I continue with Google. Always. So now I'm uploading a file. See, create a temporary mail for this thing. See, this is the file. I'm just giving order ID, order date. This is what I gave for one MBA for one corporate training for a company called as Charisma Solutions. It is there. It's manipulated data. So if I could upload their order ID, order date, and their sales happening in one particular day in several branches. See, scatter plot it gives you the bar chart, how sales was there in west, east, north and south, central and south. It also gives you the Python code. Julius also gives you the Python code. It also gives you the explanation of the code, as you could see over here. Now, if you want the images, it will give you, see, these are the images. You just uploaded a data set. You just uploaded a data set. But you're able to get all these graphs, Python code, explanation of the Python code in seconds. So in seconds, your results are ready. That is the power of GenAI tool. Hope you can see. So the data set that I have given us for a superstore, which is there in several locations. So this is how a data visualization tool works. This is how your data has been analyzed. From this, you can take the graphs and you can make use in your paper. Hope it's clear. So this is the second tool hands-on I have given. First one was with respect to Myra research. Second one was with respect to Julius AI. Now, sir, first of all, I have written my abstract, sir. As you said, the movie. How are you going with the movie? How you are writing an abstract? Similar to the trailer. Similar to the trailer, movie trailer. Movie trailer highlights the main events and attracts audience. So I have written the abstract. I have written the introduction. Now I want to write the literature. How it was for the earlier movies. So for which, what should I do? What are the tools? These are the tools that are, again, these are only very few tools for writing literatures, lit maps, undermine, Borium. How many of you use Borium? Borium tool, with the Borium tool, you can even cite your papers. You can even, I suppose you would have used a tool called as Google Scholar, scholar.google.com, wherein you can give, send a reminder message. If anyone else has published any paper related to your work, it will come to your mail ID like this guy has published. You know, Borium does a better work than Google Scholar. Again, I don't say Google is not good. Google is good. Borium is better. Google Scholar is good. Borium is better. These are some of the tools. Now, let us take one tool called ResearchPal. ResearchPal tool, which I have not listed here, maybe. You can take a tool called ResearchPal and let me find out how to get the literature, relevant literature. See, if I could conduct a DC meeting, doctoral committee meeting, my scholars or anyone for that matter, they used to say, sir, I took several months to read all those papers and then I came up with a literature, and these are the literatures that I have read, and they will also put up in a tabular format and they will show, sir, do you want it in tabular format or in slide by slide format? Even tabular format will look good. We will also say, okay, this will be better. So they will say, we took several months. I, as a supervisor, will also pretend as if, oh, okay, it would have taken several months. I will tell you, it will not take you more than 10 seconds to prepare a literature study. This is what you would have done. Research Paul. Even I also pretend as if I'm believing their words. Like, okay, they would have worked for several months together. See, within seconds they can do. Go to Research Paul, type something, as what are the key challenges in securing AI-based systems. Take from sources web, so computer science, and I need a short literature review for AI-based systems. Take from a paper, view submissions. From this literature review, you can click this from editors for AI-based systems. See, these many papers are available. And these are the references. Our students are so clever. So take all references. See, when I could see the references, all references should be, you should have downloaded, you should have kept it in the folder. They will say, yes, sir. For this, I took this reference, this website, that website. It took so long hours. See, it is not going to take so long hours. Within seconds, your references are ready. Within seconds, your literature is ready. That's the impact of Research Pal. Try working with Research Pal. Sir, I have heard of Paper Pal. Even my scholars might be wondering, because there are few scholars even listening here. They might be wondering. So far, you are saying about Paper Pal, now you say about Research Pal. Yes, Paper Pal is different, Research Pal is different. Try both Paper Pal as well Research Pal. Okay. These are some of the tools that might be useful for paper writing. Answer this: Paper Pal, Sky Summary. Essay summary will summarize. See, many people, I have seen many people in the previous institution. I was a dean of that institution. And even I have seen many of the faculty members, many of the students, they used to coming up with one paper, sir. And these people, these faculty members, they used to say, take a paper only from IEEE paper. Why? All other journals are not good because they know about IEEE. So they would have said, take only from IEEE paper. Okay, madam. That fellow will come with the paper. What have you read from that paper? I am sure 99.99999% of students would have not read about that paper. Maybe you would have started with the first page. You would have not able to, will not be in a position to understand what that paper is, and you will not read the paper. Only with the title, he will say his own stories, which is not at all available in that particular paper. This faculty member, they will say, submit hard copy of the paper. I will take 1 week time to read the paper. They will never ever read the paper. They will never ever read their own class materials. They will never ever read the paper. He will say his own stories. He will say her own stories. And finally, they will come up with a solution which is not at all related to the base paper. And this madam, this faculty will say like, take that as a base paper and work. He will also say that is the base paper. But they will not at all, it will not at all be relevant. Then how do I identify a base paper, or how do I understand? It is very simple. Use high summary. You can use a six summary. Again, this one of the tool. When you could use this answer this, it's a very new tool. When you could use this answer this, it gives all the answers. In the last session, when I handled for this research, I said a tool called Wise One. Wise One was a very good tool to summarize, but nowadays it's not a good tool. For this session, I'm saying, for last session, again, I told high summary. For this session, I'm saying answer this. For next session, I'll say a different tool. So, when you could find, so you can work with these tools. Even I will show you a hands-on with respect to answer this. Okay, sir. You said about research gap, literature is done. I am a fresher. How do I identify research gap? I do not know what is a research gap. Is there only one type of research gap? Definitely not. There are several types of research gaps. I am not sure how many of our PhD supervisors know about these many gaps. There's a gap called as evidence gap, knowledge gap, practical knowledge gap, which speaks about the action knowledge conflict gap also. Methodological gap, methodology, methods, tools and techniques. Empirical gap, theoretical gap, population gap for census and all. So there are so many research gaps available. How do I identify a research gap? For which use answer this. What is answer this? Answer this is again one other Gen AI tool. Use answer this to identify these four types of. Answer this will answer with respect to these four gaps only. One is the methodological gap, theoretical gap, practical application gap. Other one is the potential for original research. See, this is how your answer this works. Answer this research gap finder. When you could browse using perplexity, or how many ever times do I say? You will work with your own flow. Okay. When you could browse with Google, type as answer this and research gap finder, you will end up with this page. Let's see how to work with this. How to identify a research gap. Type in your research topic in the research area or topic space available at the bottom. Hope you can see. Click this. I am not a robot. Okay, wait, I will work on show. Type as the impact of generative AI on education and learning. Few of my scholars or few people might be doing education and learning. So you can see, just I clicked as what are the gaps available in education and learning with respect to a paper which I had downloaded earlier. So you can even give it as education and learning written by Ramesh, Suresh, Mahesh in this year, in this journal, in this volume, in this publication. Then it will give you the research gaps identified in that particular paper. In that particular paper, how many seconds did it take? How many seconds did it take? Not even 2 seconds. not even 2 seconds. And as I said, answer this is not fully free. In a day, you can attempt for 4 times. I attempted 1 time, so another 3 times I can attempt for free of cost. Sir, I am not human psychology, human mentality. I never ever pay for Gen AI tools. If it has been made paid, I will go search for a different tool. So, and people might also wonder, how are you able to get so many tools? It is not a single day work. My research scholars know this. Almost on all nights from 11 p.m. to midnight, even 2 a.m. I browse with all kind of tools. I work with each and every tool, and then I show them these are the tools that are available. And I also put that in the group which we have, our research group, so that people might also be aware of, not they are not they should not be aware like the supervisor is working for so long later, to make sure that they work on a practical basis and to come up with solutions. So I put up many different tools of this sort, but I never ever get many different tools from them. So that is not only from them, any scholars, they work in that manner. So this is how it works on. So you can able to identify within seconds these gaps. So the other tool, sir, I am very worst in, very poor in English writing. When I write English, I make many grammar mistakes, for which I use Grammarly tool. Yes, Grammarly tool is a good tool, but gone are the days you use Grammarly tool. So no, sir. Yesterday also I saw an advertisement in YouTube for Grammarly tool. Yes, it is, but it's not free. Trinka AI. Trinka AI is a very good tool for paraphrasing. Again, this is not the only tool. For me, it is a good tool. For me, this tool might be good. For someone else, some other tool might be good. So it again depends on the user perception of handling. So open Trinka AI, open your file, type something, and select the text you want to paraphrase. It will select, and it will paraphrase and it will give. And even if you paraphrase and if you give in AI turn it will show that you have used Gen AI tool for paraphrasing and you have an AI flag. So it's always better that you write. That's where I'm poor at. Sir. So this is the Trinka AI tool. So type Trinka AI, start for free. Again, no Trinka AI is fully free. You will see how it works. Just copy paste a paragraph from someone else and paraphrase it. Login. After you log in, you give a sample file. You click that paraphrase at the right hand corner. This is the file I have. So now I want to paraphrase. I just want to replace. See, it got replaced. Now I'm selecting it. Models, give academic. For academic writing is different. Research writing is different. Company people writing is different. So for academic writing, just click. You get this. Go down. Replace. Your text will get replaced in the left hand corner. You are able to see it, right? Now it's replaced. This is how paraphrasing does work using Trinka AI. Do work with Trinka AI. Okay. See, I am not a supporter for any of the Gen AI tools. It is up to you to use any of the Gen AI tools. So again, when it comes to answer this tool can identify key findings, research gaps, methodologies, limitations, future work, contributions, and practical implications. You can even extract the data set. What is the data set that a particular guy has used in his particular paper? You can even identify whether he has used the original data set or whether he manipulated. If he has manipulated, as I said, you can complain it to the ancient group so that you can also earn money. And poor fellow, that fellow will get retraction, other issues. So he will get caught, but you can earn money. So this is other way of earning money also. But please don't do that. It is their own hard work and their own work also. So let them enjoy. So this is how the answer this works. We will see how answer this works in terms of key findings, research gaps, methodology, identification. So entire paper is done. Wait, I'll log in. Extract data, upload the PDF file, take from a file, whatever you want. You add columns. This is how our students do. Sir, in this column, I am able to do this column, all table file. See, I am able to get all these contents. So now I am able to, who is the author? What is the date of indexing? DOI is date of indexing. Now I want all the contributions or the future work. This paper proposes this many things. This is in the column. So put it in the other column. So first column will give you literature study. Second column source information, methodology, future work. This paper does this paper does that. You export to a CSV file, and that file only people put it in the PPT and they take it to the DC meeting and all. Click export to CSV and it's all done. So this is how your answer this tool on research finding works out. So these are some other tools, recent tools available for paraphrasing: Pillbot, Jasper, Word AI, Trinka, WordTune, Writesonic, Spin Rewriter, Paperpal. I told about Paperpal a few minutes back. I was telling about ResearchPal. I asked people to work even with Paperpal also. So ResearchPal, Paperpal, Essay Service, Ref and Write. These are some of the paraphrasing tools available. Sir, I wrote, sir, paraphrase, sir, but I do not know what is it tends to be used. When you write an abstract, use present tense. When you write when you want to summarize in the abstract, use past tense. To describe the purpose, use present tense. Key findings, use present tense. Summarize the results, use past tense, because you would have completed the results, so use past tense. For introduction, present tense. For referencing specific studies, use past tense. Similarly, work with the tenses accordingly. Then, sir, I used all these things, sir, but even then I'm getting AI flag as 50%, 70%, sir. What should I use, sir? Use a humanizer tool. Even your Gen AI tool cannot find out from where you have copied. But when you used AI, it will show you as star AI, star percentage, which means it will show you like you guy has copied from somewhere, but I'm not able to find out from where have you copied it. Use a humanizer tool. What are the humanizer tools available? These are some of the humanizer tools available. And even I have not listed one of the tool, which is a very recent tool called as Grubby AI. So paraphrase it, put it in Grubby AI, and then download it. Even your Gen AI tool cannot identify that you have copied from a Gen AI tool. Okay. I told like I cannot show you the entire paper. If I'm going to write a conclusion of a research paper, what are things my conclusion should have in the research paper writing? It should have a problem statement. It should have what are the findings that I have done in my paper. It should have what sort of inferences or the implications that my study has contributed into. What sort of limitations that I had. What is the future work that I need to do. And as said in the movie, in the climax, you should have a strong climax in the movie. Then only after completing the movie, people will feel like, oh, I have seen such an awesome movie. Similarly, in writing conclusion, you should have a strong closing statement. Always relate your paper writing to a movie. Don't think like why this guy is saying about movie. Because many watch movies, wrapping up the story and setting the stage for a sequel nowadays, because Singham 1, Singham 2, Singham 3. That guy says, I have story for Singham 14 version. Okay. So, which means there should be a good sequel. So, wrapping up the story is very good. Similarly, is very much is essential. Similarly, in conclusion, summarizing the key finding and suggesting future research is very, very essential. So, only for that matter, you are supposed to have a good closing remark in your conclusion. So, strong closing statement is required for a conclusion. Now, as a PhD student, because since many of my scholars are also available, as a PhD student, what are things that are required in writing a research paper? Yes, these are things you are required. This is not only for structuring your PhD thesis, but for writing a paper. These are the contents that are expected. Summarizing the essence of the research concisely. Why I always focus on my research scholars? Because my research scholar wanted me to give a talk during the course of working hours, which I did not do. So I am just doing it over here. So you can summarize, and you need to have an abstract, introduction, literature review, methodology, key findings, and results and discussions. That's where the additional results are, conclusions, and future research. Do not stop with this. Last but not the least, as I said, last but not the least, appropriate referencing. Whatever referencing that you use it in your this thing, like cite the references that you are used, and do not use self citations. Say for example, if I'm going to write a paper, if I have already written a paper and no one has cited my reference, my paper, do not cite your paper in the other next paper of yours. That is again not ethical. Don't do self citations. So appropriate, people might think, oh, this is my supervisor paper, he has written that paper, and now he is, we both have, myself and my supervisor is writing one other paper, so if I cite his own papers, he will be very, very happy. Not at all. If you cite again, it is a problem. So please do not do self citations. So what are the citation management tools? You have Zotero, Mendeley, EndNote, RefWorks. I will tell you a recent tool. People are using PubMed. Evidence Next is a very good tool, which I have not listed here, which I'll be saying it in my next session for the other sessions. So you can use Evidence Next also. These are some of the tools. I told like in the initial start, I told like I'll give a hands-on with respect to Bohemian tool. So this is where the Bohemian tool works out. So I will tell you before going with the Bohemian tool. Suppose if I have made my paper ready before I could submit to a journal, I need to know how have I written my paper. So you can use a tool called as review it. Again, review it is not a free tool. You can use a tool called as review it, wherein it will review your paper and it will give you. This is how you log in with some ID, with some password, log in successfully, upload a document. Again, at caution, I don't advise people to upload unpublished paper. If you want, you can do it. You will get what are the strengths in your paper, what are the weaknesses in your paper. You will get within seconds. And not only that, you will get a review result. Your introduction has 9 out of 10. Your related work is only 7 out of 10. And for anything, for so it will give you an overall score of 8.13. Like there is 8%, 80% chance that your paper will get accepted when you submit to some kind of journal. So you can use review it. But again, at caution, it is not advisable to submit a paper which is unpublished. These are, sir, where should I submit? Which journal should I submit to? How do I identify journals? These are some of the journal finding tools. These are some of the journal finding tools. Supposing if my friend has he used to sit and chat with me, sir. But that fellow, he has submitted my work, and how do I know that this fellow has submitted or his work has been cited, his work has been indexed? You can go in Google Scholar itself. You can give your email ID. Anyone else has submitted similar work, you will get a mail across. There is one other tool called as Bohemium. This Bohemium tool, it's a science navigator tool, wherein you can give whatever you want, the name, who, which author you want to know. Like if it's optimization, if I want to know, if you want to know from a professor by name Syed Ali Mirjalili, he's a very good guy who has written many new optimization algorithms. Only because of him, several optimization algorithms exist. He writes optimization algorithm exclusively on nature-inspired optimization algorithm. So he works at a Melbourne University as a professor. So if I want to know what is the new algorithm that he has written, I can just like that I can type Bhukiram, and this is how it works. Subscription, go to subscription, journal subscription, click journal subscription, type Journal of Systems and Software. If I check, there are three different journals: Journal of Systems Software, American Journal. So there are three different journals. So I am subscribing Journal of Systems Software. Scholar subscription. Search the scholar name. Type as some name, say the material or some name. Search is this fellow's phone. Subscribe. Search the keyword subscription. What I want to find out the vulnerabilities. This guy is a security guy, cyber security guy. So I want to find out these security vulnerabilities. So I get so many things. I want to subscribe to security vulnerabilities, whatever he writes in security vulnerabilities, software vulnerabilities. So let me subscribe. So if I subscribe all these things, then I get so many papers of him. Like these things he has worked out. So this is how you can subscribe to a particular person who has worked out. Right? Clear? So from scratch, starting from the abstract, I related with the movie, and we have completed the full paper writing with the help of Gen AI tools. Now it is the time for questioning. Thank you. Signing off. If you have any queries, you can contact me. Very well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your informative presentation. Dear participants, if you have any questions, you can ask now.
Sir, you were mentioning an AI tools a couple of minutes back. It sounds like graveyard good or something. There is some solution to them. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Sir, can you name that AI once again, sir? Graveyard something. Sorry if I
What is
couldn't get
Sir,
it,
your
sir.
voice is not clear, sir.
Grubby AI, sir. It's not Grabby, it's Grubby AI, which I have not mentioned here.
Can,
Don't worry,
can you spell it?
you attend my forthcoming sessions, you will come to know many new AI tools. There in that session, none of the AI tools which I have described here will be there. That is
So
Grubby,
can
not
you
Grubby.
reiterate it, sir, if you don't mind once again?
Grubby, sir. Grubby, sir. Grubby AI.
Oh, thank you so much, sir.
Dear participants, if you have any questions, you can post it in chat box. Sir, I'm audible, sir.
Yes, yes, yes.
Sir, can we write an article with the help of AI? AI as a co-author, sir.
AI as a co-author?
Yeah, we can write an article, sir.
No, you cannot. Like, see, if at all you're going to do so, you're going to, what you need is like, it should be cited.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, am I
Queries?
audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So there's a person asking regarding what about plagiarism detection?
Plagiarism?
Detection.
There are so many types of plagiarism. So if you're going to get it, you can check using this, as I said, you can check using GPT-0, which I have not listed here. GPT-0 or Turnitin or AI Turnitin or Authenticate, or even the Anna University, they have the Urkun tool. So you can find through any of the flag checker and you can get the flag report done. And if even there, if the flag, if you think like it should not get detected the flag, you can use the humanizer tool as I have listed in these slides. I suppose I have listed few humanizer tools. If you had made note of it.
Yes, sir. I personally have that query about humanizer tool on detection.
But it
So
is
can
not
you
it
just
is not a it is not an ethical way to use a humanizer tool. Today maybe your content may not get detected because you have used humanizer tool, but not always. So there is high end possibility that you might get caught and the paper might get retracted after several years. So it is always a good practice to use your own writing. That enhances your critical thinking, and such kind of humanizer tools make people to become lazy. So it is not advisable for people to use these humanizer tools. The worst case, if you want, you can, but it is not advisable from my end. I don't advise my scholars to use the humanizer tool because it's not a good practice. It because of it you cannot answer it properly. It is always better to use your brain to make your writings.
Sir, I'm sorry to interrupt. Actually, you have on two mics, which is echoing us.
Okay.
So
It is because the
another thing
mobile is
is,
near me, so that the signal gets echoed, I suppose. For poster
okay,
presentation,
sir. Actually,
there is a query on poster presentation. For poster presentation, you can use a tool called Canva. You can use even Jiffy for poster presentations, madam. Dr. Shamim, I suppose it's Dr. Shamim Fatima. For poster
Sir, could you
presentation,
please,
Canva tool could be used.
other than Canva?
Uh, there are several tools. Even I can text you shortly.
Yeah,
Even
please do.
two
Your
sessions back,
presentation
I
was
gave
very
them tools.
excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Dear
sir.
all, I extend my heartfelt thanks to our management for providing this opportunity, and my special thanks to our speaker, Dr. Yan Ganesh, sir, for sharing his valuable insight. Last but not least, I thank all the participants for their active engagement. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you all. So, Dr. Karthikeyan sir, hope I can leave.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for valuable insights.
The feedback link has been posted in the chat box.
Bro, sir. Thank you, bro, sir.
Thank you, sir.